thanks for the suggestion. Does anybody wants to take the first question?
Yeah, I think I'll take the first one. Uh, see, from proto to mass manufacture, I think there are some of the world's largest companies who are present in India, and right here I have Dr. Sundar Kamath. He's got a lovely facility in Chennai from Sanmina, and they have 10 SMT lines, one dedicated for proto, and then they have box builds. I mean, massive facility, and within a span of 5 years, they've grown from zero to probably $400 million. And that's what you need to leverage today, and that's where they've employed maybe 3,000 people today. And these are some of the hidden secrets and truths within the country which not many people are aware of. I think within this, if you can probably meet up with him after the session, I think there's a great deal of exchange that can happen here.
Okay. Does that answer your question, ma'am? Okay. Sridhar, please. Take the mic, ma'am.
Like a software, by developing a software is an idea where you have a laptop or a computer which is available freely because of all the policies changes which has happened. It's so easy to get it up and maybe create the test environment, test it out. Most of the products in the ESDN, even if it is a simple product or any connectivity or Bluetooth, requires a lot of validation, a lot of testing. And this equipment are pretty expensive. If somebody is to basically, an idea is there in mind and you actually get to import those equipment, not to mention getting any approvals, setting up that environment itself is very costly and time consuming. So even at prototyping stage itself, it's such a difficult area. So wouldn't it be advantageous to help entrepreneurs who are coming up and say that, okay, we'll have such an equipment, or make policies and processes where such equipment is available freely, at least on some usage basis?
Sure. So I think this is problem, basically suggestions we heard from a lot of people, and one of the component of the Government of India scheme for electronics manufacturing cluster kind of addresses this issue, where each greenfield or brownfield cluster, there will be common facilities will be developed where this basic testing, basic manufacturing and all of those kind of things for like a matured prototype kind of the things will be created. And I think as you heard in the morning, the Electronic City might be the first one to come up with this common infrastructure where this kind of things which exactly you are talking, like low volume SMT machines, wireless testing equipment where you can test your Wi-Fi DB levels and all of those things, right? They should be available. I probably Jayesh and Venkia sitting here, they will be able to say whether this particular thing is not, but best of my knowledge, these are the problems which are being addressed through CFC. Okay. Jen, in the back.
Satya, I have one comment on.
Hello.
Sure. Yeah, Vishwa has a comment on
Basically, I think, for innovation, there are quite a few schemes that government has come up. For example, for R&D, we have DITI, where you can actually get funds, but a private company cannot get it yet. The biggest issue we have is there is money, but there are so many loopholes, or there are so many roundabout ways in which you have to go to access it. You have to partner with IESA or any of the government recognized labs if you want to work with the DITI fund. So if government really intends to help entrepreneurs, help a fabulous model, I think they should really remove the scheme, and private companies should be able to directly access this fund. That's one of the biggest bottlenecks. And if you have carefully observed, this morning, there's a scheme from government of Karnataka where it says there is fund from R&D, right? 50% of the fund you would get. But if you have to listen to the catch, it will be no more than 2% of your revenue.
So I think, Vishwa, there is some misunderstanding there. Yeah. If you are basically like if your revenue is very less and you have no revenue, then the 2% does not apply.
Okay. Yeah. So I think these are some of the things that
we took care of that. At least in Karnataka policy, we took care of that. So,
Thank you. What I think this is, some of it is of course coming from the frustration, if you like.
no,
We
no,
have
understand.
suggested.
Since we go
So,
through the same thing,
that
we
is-
make sure
yeah.
that basically that kind of thing does not exist. Like
I think we need to read the small print, and if there is intention, I think it should be direct and not roundabout.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Sure.
That's must, especially for a certain period of time. If only that is allowed, if that happens, can we see real innovation happening?
Okay, thanks, Isha. We had a question in the back.
Hi, I'm Santosh, Santosh Adinaran from Maxim Integrated. I would like to bring up in another topic, especially in the education domain. You know, what
Which domain?
we can do in the education domain, what we could do from the IESA, you know, especially in terms of not only the K-12 education at the school level, but more at the technical education level, at universities, which are not really like IITs or NITs, but you know the tier 2 and you know the other universities which are there in the rural part of India, how we can really enhance the education system as well as bring in changes so that you know that could actually bring up more you know relevant products to India.
Yeah, Santosh, I think that can be covered in some other panel. If it is relevant to product innovation, we'll take it here. If it is generally improving the education system, it has to be taken as some other platform, and you can talk to Vivek Pawar. He is doing a lot of things in that direction. So probably that's a more relevant platform for doing this.
Okay, thanks.
But probably I think I will add one thing, using that as a funnel for the innovation, because the technical education in India is not typically focusing on innovation, it's more focused on certain services. If we can bring in a culture of innovation, the culture of questioning, the culture of doing different, culture of dirtying your hands right from semester 1 to semester 8, and then for the higher education and move them to the next level of education. I think that is where the mindset will change, and over the next 10 years, you will see a lot of people starting to publish papers, starting to apply for patents, starting to apply for multiple things which can go a long way. So that's a path which can be taken from the education system, from the college level to the next stage.
Can I add a small part over here to this? So for example,
But
I
I
don't know
don't
if,
want to
understand.
convert into a debate of the education system.
Very
The topic
quickly.
of this panel is very different, so let's just stay with
for
that,
example,
right?
there is
Because that's
the
a
reason why I
totally
specifically
different,
wanted to bring this
Pandora
up.
box.
The reason why I wanted to comment on this, Santosh, primarily for you is, I don't know if you heard of the JEDI project. JEDI, Joy of Engineering, Design and Innovation. That's a project which is, you know, currently funded by, if I remember correctly, Axel. Axel Partners has actually funded that, and they are now, you know, piloting it out in a few schools out here in Karnataka right now. By schools, I mean engineering campuses. The other thing that I would like to say is, you know, this I think you are right, it should be led by the industry to quite an extent. All I can say is that platforms exist for being able to deliver the kind of content that you're talking about, right?
Okay. Sir, over there. Yeah, take the mic, please. We can't hear you.
I wanted to get your view on why there's no smartphone manufacturing in India.
Can you speak up? Yeah.
I wanted to get your views on why there's no smartphone or tablet manufacturing in India.
Whose view you want? My view is basically it's not cost competitive. It's as simple as that.
Pardon me?
It's not cost competitive.
Why not?
There are a lot of reasons, but one line answer is not cost competitive.
So there's no technical reason,
There is no technical reason. Building a smartphone or a tablet is no rocket science. Everything is known. There are basically at least 100 people who can build a tablet or a smartphone in India from a technical point of view. It's just the whole product manufacturing and selling it. It's not cost competitive to basically something white box you import from China and just basically label it and sell it. That's more cost competitive. So it's more business reasons than technical reasons. And some of the people who have been trying to do this can basically support me if I'm wrong. Jayesh or somebody who is trying to do the consumer products. Smart set-top box is the similar category, right? See, last year in the budget they had to increase the duty on the set-top box for making the domestic production more competitive compared to the imported products, right? Without that, the set-top box had the same situation. So tablet and smartphones, at least lower ends, don't have any duty. So how do we become cost competitive there? And we discussed that China ecosystem is fast, more efficient, and this thing. So you just build it there, import it there. So to answer this thing, there is no technical reason, it's more business related reasons, which basically probably there are better qualified people than me to answer that. Anybody wants to take it?
Yeah, the preferential market access could be one of the ways to address it, but it's
But
not powerful enough yet, and there are so many small prints and exceptions
you can't do on
there.
the cell phone and smartphone, right?
Yeah,
That's the
so-
problem.
And also, a lot of this is what existed, manufacturing facilities existed here. They are also slowly slowing down their production because the alternatives are available cheaper and most companies source it from there. So I think it's too late to set up that, but we have to look at what comes 5 years later and we should be more geared up for that.
Yeah, that's why the question is that we should look at the 5 year down the road, because people are much more advanced in this particular set of the devices. Difficult to catch on the cost, right?
Is that possible? Is it possible to design the phone that would be needed 5 years into the future and make it in India?
I could not hear it properly. Did anybody catch it? Can you please speak up?
Is it possible? Is the design expertise exist in India to make the cell phone that's needed a few years into the future?
I believe so, that the capabilities do exist.
And the price differential between India and China is 2% or 10%? How far apart?
I think modeling basically depends on product to product. There was a disability study done by IESA, and it pointed to across various devices the disability is somewhere between 7% and 22% depending on the product. And basically you have to look at the disability factor, then there's a cost of capital, and a lot of factors go into that, right? But the spread is 7 to 22%.